ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. ìgbà tó yẹ ká tọ́jú káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa kíyèsí bàbá. Olódùmarè ìfà ẹlẹ́gbàrà láàánú ìṣà ńlá olúkòso ọ̀sán yìí o òun lákàyè ọ̀ṣun ẹ̀wù jí iye mọ́jà ẹgbẹ́ egungun gbogbo ìjàpátá irúnmọlẹ̀ o gbogbo ayé ẹ̀yin ìyá mi àtẹ̀yìn bàbá mi babaláwo olórí ìṣà ìbà ló yẹ ká bọ́dù káwa tó ṣeré o wá máa ní ìṣe ìbáyàpá. ìbà ló yẹ ká bọ́dù káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa ní ìṣe ìbáyàpá. ìbà ló yẹ ká bọ́dù káwa tó ṣeré o wá máa ní ìṣe ìbáyàpá. ìbà ló yẹ ká bọ́dù káwa tó ṣeré o ká máa ní ìṣe ìbáyàpá. ìgbà rúmọ̀lẹ́ àjàláyé àjàlọ́run yọlágbàdé ẹlẹ́bùbọn bàbá wa wóníran ọmọ yẹn nílùú Ọ̀yọ́.
àbọrúbọyọ àbọyè bọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀lẹ́ nílòkó lọ́nà àtìlẹ́yìn òdì. Greetings to everyone joining us. Veneration to you. Respect, kudos and credit to you for your efforts. Stay true to yourself and stand tall, irrespective of your challenges of embracing this way of life. It's very all right for us to say hello to ourselves and greet one another. It's a family platform. We are all family here. Ìbálára tajero, ìbáragun kilila. Àwọn tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ jáwé àkọ́kọ́, bá àwọn tí ń wẹ ìbò nísinsìnyí kí bá wa òṣèlú. Àṣebá òkè ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ afọkọ́jẹrí alápò rẹ̀ kí bá wa òṣèlú. Báwọn ìyá ọ̀pá kí àlàkẹ́ arógbó aṣọ má balẹ̀. Òṣìfìlà fún yín o. Ìbà àwọn ti ládéládé, ìbà àwọn olóyè káàkiri. Veneration to the ancestors. And we ask that their energy stay with us today as we learn together. With our mouth and the words that come out of it, we pour libation to the universe, and we ask that today may we be bestowed with a new level of wisdom. Ashe. Today, we shall talk about what I titled No Spirituality Attached. And in other words, we say clarity of factors. Let's clarify some factors. Let's clarify some factors. So, we don't paddle a canoe ten steps forward and 50 steps backward. It is necessary, important for us to clarify these factors. Know today that man is God. Let me say it again. Know today that man is God. For once, do not ask the low-level question that if man is God, then did man created himself? Ask, what are the attributes of God which man exhibits? Life and death. They are all in the capability of man. Man can make live, man can also make alive. But man, from time immemorial, want to live an irresponsible life. It is out of the irresponsibility of man that religion was created. It is the irresponsibility of man that give birth or rise to spiritualization. I once spoke about spiritism and spiritist, which is way different from spirituality. Sexuality is different from sexist. A sexist, someone who is driven by the motivation of sex, who lacks self-control, who gravitate constantly towards the, need for sex. Sexuality is understanding what sex is all about so that you can differentiate between the good and bad application of sex. So also Spiritism and the Spiritist, they are both different. Spiritist propagate Spiritism, but Spiritism is different from spirituality. The liti behind it represent literature. So when you see liti behind every word, it tells you that it is the education of this particular thing. So also the spiritualization. Spirituality is different from spiritualization. Spirituality is understanding energy, its formation, capability, and probability. Spiritualization is thinking, living as though, or believing that everything that happens in your experience, including the ones you refuse to take responsibility for, are as a result of a spiritual influence attack. And therefore, you are also like those who do good things and give glory to God and say it's by the grace of God, and those who do chaotic things, evil things, and blame the devil for it. For a man who do good things and say it is by the grace of God will eventually do chaotic things to you and blame the devil for it. Such a man, from the words of his mouth, must be categorized as utterly irresponsible, because mankind is capable of doing what is good, as well as mankind is also capable of doing the worst thing on earth, which is the attribute of God, to do and undo. So those who said, I do not believe in God, I do not believe in devil, but spiritualize everything, are in the same group with those who believe in God and also the devil. Don't get me wrong. I do not say there cannot be spiritual influence on your daily activities, events that happens to you, but not everything that happens to you is spiritual. However, the place of knowing where African people are sticking, not moving away from, is not a place of manifestation. We must quickly move away from the era of knowing to the era of doing. So we said we need clarity of factors. Spiritualization again is throwing a stone to a glass house and quickly looking for who to blame for the shattered or shattered glass. Spiritualization is neglecting what we call instinct, intuition, otherwise common sense. They say it's not common, while hoping that there is a spiritual entity that will look after you. The resultant effect of spiritualization is that the spiritist, your pastors, spiritist, your imams, spiritist, your babalawo, will become rich at your expense. So the microscopic few who understand that they are God, they can do and undo, who have chosen to take responsibility for their life, begin to be the cankerworm and cancer on the life of the majority. What happened? In ratio, 4% of the world population now begin to run the daily affair, milking the 96% of the world population. The difference between the 4% over the 96%, you know what it is? Knowledge, illumination. Sometimes you call these people Illuminati because they are woke. The woke people are not the people in Hotep cult. The rave of it is going on in Northern America. The woke people are not people who are practicing Ifa and looking at all costs to be initiated into it. That you identify with a sect does not signify wokeness in you. The woke people are not people who go to the Oshun Grove, that you wear white, looking like Mary Amaka, does not mean you are woke. See, identification with an association as a leverage over the vacuum within you will still not get you to the point of delivery. Wokeness is a personal journey. Do you need a guide, a mentor? Yes, you might not need. Billions of human beings have been woke within them without the intervention of another. Identification with church, identification with mosque. Sometimes the atheists believe that they are the most woke. They are full of themselves. They argue like it is a food. They berate every other person. In the process of being woke, I'm talking about the atheist. Every other knowledge is contested by them. Being an atheist does not make you woke. You have just joined another gang of people. What knowledge is there that you are identifying with publicly that is not first discovered by some people ahead of you? So if you jump on another man's donkey, it does not make you swift. Are you getting? What I'm saying today will spoil business, not only for your pastors, your imams, It will also spoil business for your babalawo, your traditionalist, your dibias, your spiritist. I always say something that my whole existence is to do what? People know me here already. What do I say I exist to do? That my whole existence is to I'm sure somebody will type it. The first level or characteristics of wokeness, thank you, my whole existence is to upset you. I will upset you, I will get you angry, I will just irritate you. I will irritate you with the truth, I say. Now, the very first characteristics of a man or a woman that is his or her ability to be God. A God apply his common sense. Unfortunately, to make you live below the threshold of what you are, they say that when you are coming to church, you should disarm and disable your sense of reasoning. When a human lives without his sense of reasoning, he is a zombie in the hand of others. So they can tell you what to do and you go do it. In the course of this, a lot of people are running away from in or non-existing objects, items, demons, and any entity, whatever. Due to spiritualization, some people believe that if they do a certain thing in a certain way, then they have offended the spirit world. In that wise, they become a religious tally number. Listen to this very carefully. As a human, the very first reservoir you are supposed to reach out to before anything is your common sense. It is what common sense cannot do that you now apply spirituality to. Unfortunately, a lot of people apply spirituality before common sense. People apply spirituality before common sense. You solve the equation complex, use a complex solution. Simple equation, you use complex solution. In a world where spirituality is an identity, a world where spirituality is an identity, a tag, an association, a connectivity, and almost used as a tool of racism, social segregation, racial discrimination, hate against humanity in the name of spirituality. It becomes tiring. Spirituality is never to be used for all of this. I was traveling between two states today, and twice the men of security force, they stopped me. One in Lagos, one at the border of the other state I'm going to. They asked me a question. What do you do for a living? The first thing I said is that I'm a farmer, because I do farming. He said, do you do any other thing? I said, and I'm a social worker. And they asked, what is a social worker? And I gave them my ID card from Crystal Love Support Foundation, and I explained to them. Coincidentally, those who come to interrogate me ask me, there is something different about you. Something is different about you. Are you into traditional worship? I said, there is nothing like traditional worship. However, I follow the ways of my ancestors in approaching issues of life. And they say, hey, look at the layers upon layers. The last one who stopped me said, do you belong to any of this society? Can I see your ID card? I said, what you know as traditional worship is not like cooperative society. And I have the sole right either to belong to society or not, depending on what they practice there and their doctrines. Unfortunately, I refuse to join any of them. And he asked me why. I said, because my whole existence is to upset you. And he was wondering. I told him to go to my YouTube channel to check it. He went there, he listened to a little while. I wasn't rushing. And he was like, wow, nice. Can I get your contact? I would like to learn more. Spirituality of the ancestors is not the same as a social tag or identity. I always say that you can be an astronaut and still practice African spirituality. You don't need to be all out there. Do you know that a drum with content does not announce itself, even when you hurt it? But you see the one that is empty, too much regalia, too much ileke lori, ileke lorun, too much beat, everything is just... I think I've seen a lot of people who are stopped by the road and say, I'm Babalawo. Don't you know? Okay, if you are Babalawo, are you above the law? And if being Babalawo is the only thing you do for a living, you are a fraudster. They were wondering, why did you not say you are into traditional worship? I say, traditional way or the ways of the ancestors for me is not a source of income. You ask me, what do I do for a living? My spirituality is my personal space. What I do for a living is what I told you. See, when you begin to do a thing for a living, that means you need it to survive. You don't need spirituality to survive, because spirituality should be part and parcel of you. You do not need spirituality to survive. You need spirituality to exist. Your existence alone is an assignment to know what spirituality means. So either you now do African spirituality, European spirituality, Indian spirituality, or what have you. It does not matter. It does not matter. But clarity of factor. I always tell people when they come to me for consultation and they present their case, majority of the time, when they come for health issue, I ask, have you been to the hospital? Have you been to the hospital? What did the doctor say? Did they find something? What's the diagnosis? Sometimes a lot of them get angry. I come to you as a babalawo. You are asking me what the doctor says. See, sometimes you are the one truncating your own life. We live in a world where we eat wrongly. We don't eat healthy. In the pursuit of happiness, money, funds, we deprive the very body in need of this happiness, the true happiness it needs. And when we gather the fund together, the health is not there. So I say, there is no use of going after spirituality if you are not healthy. Only healthy people who are alive can practice spirituality. So when people come and they say, I have this ailment or the other, and I say, have you been to the doctor? What about your medical diagnosis? What did they say? Are you guilty of this lifestyle? Now, what you need is not spirituality. Your matter does not concern sacrifice or right. Follow what the doctor said. Change your eating habit, your lifestyle. Your health will by itself reverse back to normal because you are what you eat. A lot of them get offended that definitely this man is not a true babalawo. Coming to him, he is supposed to put his chain of divination on the plate of divination and begin to eulogize Ifa. No, not all of us are senseless like your babalawo. And not all of us have the time to waste. On top, how much do you want to give? I tell people, coronavirus. How are we able to use spirituality in eradicating coronavirus? Nobody could come out and tell me how spirituality has affected coronavirus. Either you use the Western medicine or you use the African medicine, you still go back to lifestyle changes, what you ingest and all that to fight coronavirus. That one does not need divination. Clarity of factor. I learned that the Oni of Ife during the rave of the coronavirus 2020 was doing cleansing and saying because all mankind came from Ile-Ife, that this cleansing he did will eradicate coronavirus worldwide. Coronavirus is still here with us. How come nobody is asking him that the spiritual exercise he performed, why didn't he take away coronavirus in the world? Awíkoko rèé lójú ọlọ́rọ̀ o. Ọlọ́rọ̀ bá gbọ́ kó túnbẹ̀ ṣe ni o. Ìbà Ọọ̀ni Adéyẹyè o, ẹni ìtàn. Those who come to African spirituality with the expectation of miracles, and those who go to Jesus with the expectation of restoration, they are in the same mental and psychiatric hospital. Are you saying the clarity of factor? You are sick. Have you been to the hospital? A true Babalawo should tell you. Have you been to the hospital? Because you go to meet those who do not have your interest at that. Someone have ulcer recently, and because she wasn't eating well, whenever she eats, she's only taking carbs and several things that are acidic. They are not alkaline. She's not even opting for vegetarian life. She's always eating acidic stuff. And the ulcer aggravated. She could not speak, she could not do anything. And then she was in the hospital. You need time to recuperate. And somebody said, we need to take you to Babalawo. That what I'm saying is offer. That is arrow. Is a spiritual arrow. That is a spiritual arrow. Let me check. Someone is saying my network is and my network is shaking. Let's just clarify things. Waste time talking. They say it's a spiritual arrow that was shot against the lady. When they came to me, I asked for the diagnosis. And what the diagnosis said was that this beautiful lady suffering from ulcer. Please, if you can hear me very well, let me know. Let me know. Let's always do the sound check together. Somebody is raising a concern. Oh. My image is breaking, then we need to do something about it. All right. I guess it's going to come back. Must be network issue. Please hold on. I'll be right back. I don't know if I'm still available. If we are back. So someone said, all right. Thank you. They should bring the lady to me. So they brought the lady to me. I checked the diagnosis and I saw that this is ulcer. And she's insisting that there is a spiritual arrow in her body. As a matter of fact, she has been to one place that they removed the arrow. It looks so small, those small stuff, and then it came out of her body. I say, how do you people do these things? Okay, since you have been somewhere else before and they removed the arrow, why are you coming to me? Said they didn't finish removing, they didn't remove it totally. Said, okay. The only thing I will remove from you is ignorance. Because that's what most people lack. So I reached out to one or two herbalists I know. He gave us Aporo Epa Ijebu. She licked it with some other things we gave to her. He said she can't take pepper because of the ulcer. I said, give her the best pepper, the most pepperish pepper. And then within some time, she started speaking. She started getting better. She's permanently healed of that ulcer now. After a few weeks, I called her. I said, are you feeling better, madam? She said, yeah, ma'am. Is it still spiritual arrow? She started laughing. So they have taken money from her in several places because of the knowledge of ignorance that she's got, because people have knowledge of ignorance. The knowledge of ignorance defeats the purpose of freedom in you. The knowledge of ignorance. It defeats the purpose of wisdom or freedom in you. That's an example of a person who just needed a lifestyle change. What she needs is a good kind of food. But somehow, she was convinced and confused that it was a spiritual attack. Now, if this lady had been going from one place to the other and they have been removing, because whatever the person removed from me is alligator pepper they put in their hand. So when they did like this, they just removed it. See, you follow magicians, you follow people who commercialize spirituality. It's not their fault, it's you that is ignorant. And they showed her alligator pepper. She said it's ata, that is otter that is inside her. Spending money from one place to the other. All I did was to get her the recommended herbs and she was okay. What am I saying? It is not every health issue that is spiritual. So many people have lost their kidneys, they have lost their heart, they have lost their liver, they have lost their vital organs only because they are spiritualizing things. And you know, in a society where poverty is weaponized, spiritualization comes to the rescue. Because of the artificial chaos existing in Africa, more Africans die than any other human being or race in the world. Not because there are no resources, but this artificial chaos created by politics allows religion like a vulture to devour the rest of the carcass. So many people come and they are looking for miracles for health. And we end up raising money for them to go to the clinic. I hate to waste my own time. You now ask them, Why do you believe in Jesus over your doctor? Why do you believe in him, your imam, Allah, over your Jesus? Why do you believe in your Babalawo over your Jesus? You realize that the foundation of their belief is first of all insinuated or motivated by poverty. Poverty here in Africa. When people do not have money to get quality health care, they believe that medical issues require spiritual intervention. When people do not have enough money to get even the basic medical care, all these medical issues, they begin to zone it to spiritual intervention. I will not follow you people to do that. And that's one of the reasons for this particular broadcast. There are people's health is basically genetics. It is the gene they inherited that is affecting them. Is there a way to go around it? Yes. But we will still have to refer you to those who will cure you with herbs. There are three main frames of African spirituality: the spiritualist, which are the Babalawo, the herbalist, and the specialist. When you come to Babalawo, if he discovers that what is wrong with you is health, his job is to send you to herbalist. Do I say some things cannot be induced by spiritual attack? It can be this. But what is induced by spiritual attack cannot be discovered in the hospital. So far there is diagnosis for it. Let's cure you first. This is the reason why your pastors are building Shilohs and Holy Ghost camps and fire camp and deeper camps. They are changing private jets. This is the simple reason. A true Babalawo must learn the art of reference. What you cannot finish because it's not spiritual based, send it to herbalist. What they cannot finish, they should send it to the specialist. The ways of the ancestor allow reference. You refer people. Enough of using people as a source of income. In their most vulnerable state, it is an error for you to spiritualize what is plainly a medical issue. But I realize that no matter how much transparency you have chosen to engage with most Africans, instead of them to listen to advice, they call you fraudsters, they call you fake, because you are not giving them reason to be defrauded. Somebody said, if I do not get initiated into Ifa, the business I'm doing will not prosper. It is a lie. My question is, what Ifa order do you think Mark Zuckerberg belonged to become one of the richest in the world? What Ifa order is Elon Musk to become one of the richest? What Ifa order is Jack Ma? You make the world mock the way of your ancestors by spiritualizing what we call financial literacy. If we say do Ifa initiation, we are saying be exposed to the energy of wisdom. What you will do with the wisdom you are exposed to is still dependent on your common sense. However, those people who do not appreciate the usage of common sense naturally can never utilize inspiration from the universe. People who are not prone, who were not trained, who were not tutored to engage their common sense naturally in anywhere, any area, any situation, can never utilize inspiration, even if it is coming from the mouth of the universe. A lot of Africans lack what we call financial literacy. They cannot add 1 + 1 together to make it worthwhile. But if they want to do people, they can do that. If I ask majority of people listening to me right now that if I give you 1 million naira, can you calculate within 2 minutes the compound interest of 1 million naira within the next 6 years? So many people lack that knowledge. But if you ask them what is in the book of Psalm 91 verse 1, they will tell you without even. They will not boot before telling you. If I ask them, how many trips do you think you can make with a tipper full of sand in a certain geographical location before you can realize 100,000 in a month? And what are your best strategy to ensure that you become the best sand or stone supplier? Most Africans cannot tell you. They don't know how to turn wilderness into city. The business, financial literacy is not there. If you like, be initiated into Ifa, let it be beyond Ifa, be initiated into Orominyo. Scrape your hair, scrape your scalp, scrape your skull, cut your head off. You will be poor if you do not have financial literacy. If there is no financial literacy, if you like, let me do better for you. Incision from here to the back of your belly or your buttocks. You will still be poor. A lot of you are thieves. The only thing you lack is opportunity. What some of you come for in terms of, okay, I want to take care of my spirituality, is simply miracles and magic. Some are just using indirect way to ask for money ritual. You are a thief. Go and work. And when you are working, work smart. Work smart and work hard. Clarity of factors. Your babalawo will not tell you. See, if you do not possess financial literacy, it will do you as if devourers are eating your money. Kò ń ṣàgbàná o. They call it àgbàná here. It is not àgbàná. It is because you lack self-control, lack financial control. I was telling someone recently, I said, if I put $50,000 in front of my shelf, and I said, I won't touch this money till the year 2025, me, I will not touch it, no matter what happens. Because we're talking about the concept of putting money in piggy first, piggy this, thrift, ajo. I say, me, I will not follow them and do ajo in this life. I said, is it not a thing of shame that I cannot keep the money that I earn? I know how I earn this money. I know the suffering I went through to earn this money. The money I struggle to earn, I am now giving it to another person to help me keep. Is that not madness? I would rather go and use my money to buy land. Let it be appreciated. When it's time, I will sell it. I won't get the same amount. I will get double of the amount. Than for me to keep my money in banks, or give my money to one piggy vest to help me invest, or give my money to one this thing and that. No, it's not me. It's not me. I said, financial literacy comes hand in hand with self-control. Say, I don't know. Whenever I have money at hand, something will just come and take it away. It is something that you allow to take it away, that take it away. What if you don't have the money and that something comes? Will it take your life away? It will take your life away. Yemi pe owo esi jedi negba. Owo ti o ba si jedi o le gba. If the money I don't have, expenses cannot take it from me. See, Africans should now train their children to be financially literate. Now, earning money is one, investing it is one. It is forbidden for you to hold a certain kind of money for too long without it improving or increasing. And when it comes to increasing and improving, if you leave that responsibility to someone else to do, when they tell you that the market has crashed, you will crash along with the market. Growing up for me, as early as age 5 or so, when we go to my mother and say we want to buy festive clothing, she will just ask us, you want this kind of clothing? Yes. How much have you saved? We felt it was absurd and, how can a child save? You expect a child to save. Say, whatever you think you deserve in life, but you don't have what it takes to acquire it without losing sleep, you don't deserve that thing. That's what she always tells us. So you want to buy that kind of clothes? How much have you saved? So one day before the age of 6, I told my elder sister, I said, I think these people are trying to teach us something. I said, come, let's think. Whenever we are going to school in the morning, they will give us, we would have eaten breakfast, they will give us lunch box. They will also give us, I think they started with us with 1 kobo, 50 kobo. Then they increased it to 1 naira 50 kobo then. I said, when we come back from school also, they will give us, I think, 250 kobo, 2 naira 50 kobo. I said, what do you think they are expecting us to do with all those money? If I buy 2 kobo dundu, they call it dundu, yam that is fried in red oil. If I buy 2 kobo dundu, then it will be filled in a leather bag with so many pepper. I will eat, I will give to my friends. I said the rest I will be open to eat sweet on my way home and all that. I said, why don't we buy a piggy bank and be saving 1 naira per day from the school money? They will be saving 150 from the lunch money. That was how we came up with a scheme of saving 2 naira 50 kobo 5 days in a week and then all year round. So the first year we came up with that plan, our parents didn't know. When we went to them with confidence and said, we want to buy this clothing, usual question is, how much have you saved? With pride, we went to our piggy bank. We broke it, and a lot of shillings, a lot of coins came out. And they were wondering, how did you get it? And we told them what we did. And now said, okay, all right. For that year, they bought us the kind of clothing we want. The following year, we wanted a bigger clothing. You know what they did? They said, the one you wore last year, after the festive season, did you wear it again? We said no. When you wore it, if you wear it now, is it oversized? We said no. Said, if you now wear it outside, is there a police that will catch you for repeating the same clothes? We said no. Said, what if you wear it now and you save 1 whole year money and save more on it? Said, It is not enough that you have saving to buy what you want, but you must be able to buy 10 times of that thing before you can buy one for yourself. Oh, another wisdom. So when people come to greet us, visit our parents, and they give us money, our parent was not part of a parent that take money from their children. They know that these children will save it. And they expect it at the year end. Sometimes with all the miscellaneous, eating here, eating there, sometimes I can give a return of like 15 naira, boldly return 15 naira from my piggy bank at the end of the year. In those years, not this year that they have spoiled everything. The financial literacy was not something they called us on table and told us. They let us learn by our desire. Some of you will take your children to the mall. They will cry about ice cream you give them. They cry about this you give them. They cry about that you give them. So they grew up looking for what is in vogue to satisfy their own need. They have no saving scheme. They have no saving conscience. They have no financial literacy. They are jumping from one babalawo to the other, asking for right and sacrifice they can do to cut out devourers. They are there paying church pastors tithe. The 10% naturally is what a human being should save for his pension. But the 10% is what you pay so that the devourer will not come. You have been paying tithe, you still go to the hospital. You have been paying tithe, you still have expenses to pay. You have been paying tithe, you are still living in a rented apartment. You have been paying tithe, you are still jumping from one bus to the other. You have been doing sacrifice, you are still poor. What makes you think that if you enter Ifa initiation or Ifa order, you will not still be poor? Because what you need to be financially free is not initiation, but inspiration. What you need to be financially free is not initiation, it is inspiration. Inspiration comes from the ability of man to deploy his common sense. So when people sit across the table with me and they talk about their life, this is the reason why I tell people, if you want to come and make divination with me, I'm not your magic, I'm not your average babalawo. What is your problem? What is happening? While you are talking, I'm watching. If I will need to consult further, I will let you know. If I don't need to, I will let you know that you just go away, go and do this and that, and you'll be fine. A true babalawo who knows his duty to people must also have what we call counseling ability, counseling prowess, ability to reason beyond the line. He should certify himself ready for counseling. Are you getting my point? It is not everything that when I tell you, give me this, I attend to people on this personal basis. Clarity of factors. It is not everything that is spiritually attached. Some of you have been so bastardized and messed up in your mentality that even if you stumble on a stone, you spiritualize it. Spiritualization is the commercialization of spirituality. If you are with me, let me get a yes from you. If you are with me, let me get a yes from you. A lot of people now come and say, Baba, I don't know what is happening. I've had one husband before, second husband, third husband, fifth husband. Is it only you? And they automatically believe that because their great-grandmother had divorce issue, their grandmother had divorce issue, their mother had divorce issue, they have already started having divorce issue, automatically it is a spiritual attack. They say it's a generational curse. I've taught you that there is nothing like generational curse. Generational pattern is there. Have you ever sat down to think that maybe your great-grandmother do not know how to choose a husband? Maybe she chose a fear, because most women who grew up, most women, most men also, most women who grew up under the fathering of a abusive father, they always marry an abusive partner. Can I say that again? You can work out the arithmetic whatever you like. Most women who grew up under the tutelage and fathering of an abusive father, they end up like a man with a man like their father. What happened to your mother? Divorce or death or unhappiness. You expect to end up with a man like your father and not have the same experience like your mother. Most girl child, they are attracted to a man like their own father. Why are they attracted? Because there is a lack and absence of father figure. In the process of looking for that father figure, they indeed get their own father in their life. So if that happened to your great-grandmother, your grandmother has learned it. She has witnessed it. She will fall into the same error. Your mother has learned it, fall into the same error. You are not different. You are in the same set. You are inside the same set. You will learn what your great-grandmother taught your grandmother, taught your mother, and whenever it is necessary, it is possible you teach your children. It does not need verbal communication. Children learn. Children learn all of these things naturally. It is a pattern. Pattern is born out of education. Born out of education. So when these things happen to people and they come to me and they don't want to go through the counseling part, I just tell them, you can now go. You know what they do next? They start calling me fraud. It is a waste of time for me to kill a lion, kill elephant because of you, when what is wrong with you is here. Sometimes it is ignorance you ought to kill, not animals. Most times, it is ignorance you ought to battle, not spiritual warfare. And we have people who neglect the place of divination when choosing a life partner. They are already in the house of this man or woman, but they have different elements. That one is separately, it's another. And because they say opposite attract, we must know opposite always attract, but does opposite stay together forever? No. Opposite may attract, but opposite don't always stay together for a long time. It is natural that a man who is quiet wants a woman who is outspoken so as to balance it. But let me tell you something. He might think that that is what is right for him, but he will eventually be tired of an outspoken person. Why? Because that is not his personality. That is not his own personality. His personality is quietness. At a point in time, his head will be so soaked up, clogged up, with the too much talking of this other woman, he will burst out one day. A poor person might think a rich person is what is right for him. No. If your poverty is here, you can't marry a person who is rich here. It is not your personality. It may look like everything is rosy and all that. One day you will start jealousing this person. Why? Because you are a poor person. Go and marry poor people like you. You people will not have any problem. But to take your own bone and want to destroy another man's flesh, it is natural that bone wants flesh. But bone can tear flesh. Egbe yeleye ntowo woto ki wero mo to ko ma to wero lo kasinwe mo tele asinwe ke mo fera yin be se wa. When they now come for divination, we now tell them that you have attracted opposite. But look at it right now. After 10 years, after 20 years, look at what happened. It is left for you to make your choice. I guess I make divination for a lot of people, sometimes male and female. Recently, one man started chatting me, threatening me, saying he's going to take my life from me, that my days are numbered and all that. That maybe I broke his home and all that. Told his wife to leave him to come and marry me. I said, marry me. And I told this man, I said, I'm even impotent. I cannot achieve erection. So you can't stay women with me. He refused to believe me. I know they follow women now. I don't follow women. And it is not all women that follow me that me I follow back. And your shall go to that toy. Kóbìnrin má sọ pé òun fẹ́. Mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ dẹ̀ tó yìí lọ́jọ́ orí kí n má lè róbìnrin tí mo fẹ́ kí n sọ pé mo fẹ́ fẹ́. Kò ń ṣọ̀ràn. It is never an offense, because me, I'm not going to heaven or hell. It is never an offense for me to see a woman I like and I say, I like Moje Dodonyo, I like you, mother. Oh, I'm married. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you are married. Take care of yourself. Oh, I'm married, but I'm leaving my husband. No problem now. Let's be together. It's not an offense from anywhere. People still ask women who are pregnant out. And I can be as you know, as I am. And you say, okay, women are not also saying, Baba, we like you. So that one decided to now take it personal and decided to start sending me death threats. I guess in collaboration with our antagonist on the other place. Me, I've told them, oh, if you are good to your woman, if you are good to your husband, they will not even come to seek divination about you. Not to mention them getting the fact about your existence together. Are you with me? If you are good with your woman, if you are good with your man, the thought of getting divination about are we not supposed to be together will not cross your mind. For your spouse to go and seek divination for compatibility between you two, something is wrong. They have already started thinking that something is wrong. Most of them, when we talk to them, they say, oh, this is a confirmation. Someone has told me this before. This is what I've been feeling. People say the day I got married was the saddest day of my life. And they have used 15, 40 years in that marriage. They just needed the confirmation that they are not mad. Are you with me? I am a babalawo. I will tell you what I see. Most times I don't know this spouse. I don't know these men. I don't know these women. You are the one that came to me. And I always say, come. Are you willing to hear the truth? If I tell you the truth, and more often than not, rather, I will always say, I am not looking for a wife. In their divination, they will tell you, I don't say come and marry me, yo. And I don't mix pleasure with business. So somebody is now threatening me that he will kill me because I said, oh, you are mine. No wonder your wife wants to leave you. It might not even be because of divination. People get liberated on this platform just by listening to messages, not even divination. So when that thing happens, you can easily just go and spiritualize it. Spiritualizing married affairs. I remember one man who had turned against me today. Early this year, his wife came to seek divination. And I told the wife, if I'm not telling you, you know, this is your element. Your husband's element is this. How are you going to cope? The woman said she's done. That she spent 20 years of her life just being under the shadow of this man, blah, 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 like that. She was doing all sorts of things that if it is not about this man, it's not anything and all that, you know. I said, calm down. This man is begging me to help him beg his wife to stay. I mended that marriage. I stood by that marriage and make sure it worked. And I keep begging the wife, allow it to stay, allow it, please. Let's see if there will be changes. Because the purpose of knowing element is not necessarily for you to go apart. It is for you to master each other. said spiritual intelligence comes when you can coexist with even people that should not be in your radar. And the marriage was saved. If it will break, that's their problem. But for me, I stood by it and made sure it was saved. I stood by it, I made sure it was saved, even though the two of them collaborated together against me today. Are you with me? People spiritualize journey also. You want to travel? Have you checked your car? Basic things requires that you check your car. Somebody was asking me that, Baba, can you do a charm for me that will make me disappear if there's going to be an accident? I said, is it a charm to disappear when there's an accident that you should be mindful of, or you should make sure you spend the money on your car? And then you assume that every other person on the road is mad except you. And also watch the pothole. Don't drink while driving. Don't drive while drunk. I said, if you invest in all these basic things, do you think you need something that will make you? I said, devils don't crash planes, so mechanical fault crash planes. Are you telling me that from the time immemorial, people that have been crashing a plane, some of them don't believe in Jesus? What were they calling before the end of their life? Some of them don't believe in Allah. What were they calling? There are babalawos in planes that crashes everywhere. People of other spirituality. Spirituality does not stop the plane from crashing. And when your plane crashes, you will die. What we are saying is, all the companies providing you services responsible, ensuring that they follow the laid down guideline rules that is applicable to that profession. So you will get to your safe journey. When you are also in charge of the steering or whatever, ensure that you also take charge of your life. Don't overspeed. Mind the potholes. Don't sleep when you are driving. Don't drink while driving. Don't drive when you are drinking. Focus. No usage of phone. It is easy to follow simple rules than to be looking for miracles. However, is that the purpose of all these things? The purpose of African spirituality and the sciences and discoveries of our ancestors is not to shy away from responsibility. Remember, that's where we came from. That's where we started from. It is not an emergency way out of responsibility. It is not a way to blind yourself away from responsibility. You want your marriage to work, invest in it, communicate, understand each other's personality, love each other faithfully and deeply. There is no need for you to be looking for hypnotic drug or charm. That Baba, help me do it so that this woman will love me. She will not leave me. Help me do it so that this man will be listening to all I say. Are you getting my point? That's why I said we must clarify the factors. When you are going to Babalawo, go with your mind clear. Don't go there desperately. They will dupe you. Don't go there spiritualizing what is not spiritual at all. There are customs, there are traditions, there are rites, there are sacrifice. There is a place of spirituality which exposes you to yourself in relation to the universe and its demand per time. But when you spiritualize everything, some people even spiritualize their food. You want to eat, they go and put Goya oil. They say, I anoint this food. I anoint this food. The Goya oil that is meant to be frying dodo. Are you with me? Am I making sense to you? Is this liberating? Is this freedom here? This is a message that should cut across all African child. All of them looking for miracles. All of them looking for magics. All of them looking for mysticism. Somebody to charity them. Somebody who will fill them up with shenanigans. Somebody who will bastardize their mind. I will not be part of that scheme. Somebody came to me and said, the UK government wanted to arrest me. They wanted to inject me. They want to kidnap me. They want to murder me. I asked, what did you do? At least you are not the only black person in UK. I have a lot of people in UK that are black. What did you do? It was later we discovered that this person is a criminal. Somebody went to carry cocaine. They caught him. The NDLEA caught him. And they are calling me to come and do one or two things so that they will free him. I said, is it like you people? Are you mentally deranged? That a man is suffering for the repercussion of his offense? Is that the purpose of African spirituality? They say, I don't know work. They decided to go somewhere else. They took money from them, over 2 million taken from them, in the process of trying to use spirituality to free the man. He's still in prison today. They could not come back to me. And he's still in prison today. The fathers of this land and continent says, if you don't do it, nobody will know about it. But if you do it, no matter how secretive you are, somebody will find out. Somebody will find out. But if the purpose of you getting the akosefa and the ajesara is to shy away from responsibility, okpadako no ani kunolia yo ani kuku ojiji and ba onkuku owo, may we not be wasted in a noon. May we not be cut off at the prime of our life. It is the obedience that is the sacrifice. Sometimes the obedience is not obedience to what is gotten from the nation. It is the obedience to yourself. Some of you deny yourself of what you are capable of. Are you obeying yourself? This insinuation, this instinct within you, this intuition within you, are you able to obey it? They call it common sense. It is not common because not everybody is willing to keep short and listen to themselves. You are your greatest teacher. What did I say? You are your greatest teacher. You can't afford to spiritualize everything. You can't afford. So when people come to me and they say, Baba, why do you charge money when you want to do consultation? I say, what do you call it? They say consultation. I said, do you get consultation for free? One thing about me is that you become my friend for life. The moment you pick me and say you will be my babalawo, see, the concept of babalawo for me is not somebody that you will come to be getting charm to go and be doing ogmika and be harming one another. Babalawo for me means the custodian of the sacred secret of the universe. I build relationship with these people. I build relationship with these people. Every now and then I check on them. How is your family? How is your spiritual life? How is everything? Everything okay? And we come together every week, at least twice in a week. One of such day we come together is this day, Thursday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. But the close family group that's on Telegram, African Spirituality Hub on Telegram, we come together every Sunday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, and we talk heart to heart. African spirituality is not magic. African spirituality is not a source for miracles, which a lot of you are looking for. You get it in church. As a matter of fact, it is my happiness most times when people ask me for miracle to refer them to church. You will pay money until you become wise. A lot of people would have saved themselves from medical issue today if they had not known Jesus or Allah. If they had not known Jesus or Allah. Some have money to go to hospital. Some have enough brain to go to hospital. But what was told them that when they come to Jesus, what did they say? They said, by his stripe, you are healed. By his stripe, you are healed. Is it not normal for you to know that somebody who can be striped down, somebody who can be beaten, sustain injury, and the injury is affecting him immediately, cannot give you healing? They told you that somebody was hung on a tree and he died from pain, excruciating pain of nailing, and you expect such a person to give you comfort. You expect such a person to give you comfort. You are a mumu. And because of the way Jesus was marketed to you, Allah was marketed to you, even African spirituality was marketed to you, like if you embrace it, that's the end of your sorrow, that's the end of your struggle, that's the end of everything. See where you are today. Oh, you are not useful for any nation on earth. You are not useful for yourself. Why am I saying this? I am begging you, please. Come to terms with yourself that problem-solving skill should engage first the instrument of common sense before you begin to now spiritualize what common sense cannot solve. People go to the hospital and they diagnose them of this and that. Some people go to the hospital, they can't find what is wrong with them. Then we know that this is spiritual. It is when they cannot diagnose, but the person is in pain or is going through issue that we now begin to now say, yes, I want you something is wrong here. But an ailment that you can use Fensic for, paracetamol for, antibiotics for, and it will go. But you decided to go to Babalawo for it. They will still do pure. The houses of Babalawo and police station in Nigeria are two different, are the same thing. If you go there by yourself, you may not be able to come out by yourself. And if you come out, you will not come out the way you went in. You will pay. You will pay. Look at you. Oti shefa lọ́yọ̀ọ́, oti shefa lẹ́gbàá, oti shefa níjẹ̀bú, wọ́n ti shefa fún ẹ ní Ilé-Ifẹ̀, oti shefa lákùrẹ́, o shefa títí o shefa lálẹ́ odò. Ayé ẹ ò dáná. It's not like your life is better. You have been to every form of Ifa. Your life is still nonsense. Why don't you sit before a counselor for diagnosis? Some of you, the mistake you are making is not induced by any spiritual attack. It is because you have basic mental problem. A lot of people suffer from bipolar disease. Some are suffering from schizophrenia. Some are just naturally paranoid. Some are suffering from anxiety. Just that. These are things that can be approached and you can be counseled around it. But you have decided to spiritualize it. Look at where you are. See where you are today. My advice to you is, if at all you will approach Babalawo or someone, approach someone who have your best interest at heart. Someone who will listen to you, someone who will walk you through life. And stop spiritualizing everything. Don't spiritualize cockroach. They are not demonic attack. This reminds me of the last shrine we had. We were talking about demonology in the shrine. We were talking about the knowledge and the study of demons. People who are part of it, some of them wrote me back and said, for the very first time in a long time, after listening to you talking about demons, I was able to sleep well. Imagine people able to sleep well after we talk about demons. Freedom is all you need. Freedom is in light. Light is in knowledge. Knowledge will illuminate your heart. So when you see cockroach in the night, sometimes when you see owl at your window, when you see cat coming around and all that, somebody say, what does it mean for cat to be coming towards me every time? I say, because your heart is pure. That's because your heart is pure. They said dog is a man's best friend. I said no, snake is a man's best friend. Every houses have a snake living under somewhere. But the fact that you don't see it does not mean it's not there. The day your mind begins to tilt towards the negative aspect of it too much, the snake will show up because it wants to protect its own energy. Àròyé ò kájọ o, bá a bá wí látòní dọ̀la, àwọn tí ó sì padà yarin tí ó padà yarin dé. So I'm going to stop there. Stop those things you spiritualize need no spiritualization. It's a waste of time for anybody to be doing divination over sleep paralysis or some minor things. That's why I said, please build good relationship with whatever you call your babalawo, and don't be in a hurry. Do not ever be in a hurry. Some of you are looking for the first in, first out, fast in, fast out kind of. It's not going to work with me. So you can't wait enough to. Sometimes what is wrong with you started from childhood, but you want a sudden turn in the hands of time. All of a sudden, bah, just like that. Calm down. Calm down. Do like this. Calm down. Calm down. You have to walk it through. Be friend with whoever you are consulting with. Be friend with them. And let them walk you through it. Clarity of factors. Aboruboyo, aboye bosise. Ogbo ato, ìwúre, ìwòrìwò fún, àjúṣe fún wa o. A ò ní ṣe lásán o. A ò ní báráyé fọwọ́ tì o. A ò ní ṣìṣe o. If you have questions, this is the time for you to now begin to ask. I'll take questions in the next 5 minutes and then we'll wrap up. All right. In the absence of questions, somebody asked earlier that what happened to African Spirituality Hub on Telegram? Nothing happened to African Spirituality Hub. We were cleaning up the house. A lot of people are just in ash. They don't contribute. They don't say anything. Some are there as a spy. Some are there. They have no business there. Some are there just to be a nuisance there. So we were cleaning up the ash. We have rules and regulations. We laid out. You need to have your real profile picture, your real name as your Telegram identification, and you need to participate in whatever it is that we do. Enough of you saying, no, I just like to listen, I don't like to talk. If you don't like to talk, you don't need to be amongst those people who talk. You can stay in your house or be in your home and not say anything. But if you are in Ash, you need to belong to Ash and be part of it actively also. So a lot of people that we notice have not been online for months, long time ago. No profile picture, no real name. We uprooted them out. So if you are coming in right now, we are coming in knowing fully well that we have rules and regulations because we want to protect the profile and the interest of other members. We need to be able to trace you, and also we're trying to zone people according to their countries, their states, and also their provinces all across the globe, so that we can meet together and form a family bond as we ought to. In the absence of all of this, I'd like to say thank you very much for being part of today's broadcast. We ask that the ancestors continuously just give us the understanding and the wisdom to live in this current dispensation of life. For your consultations, you can just look at the information rolling below to know how you can get me on Telegram, Baba Yooba on Telegram, And to join our hub on Telegram, also you can search for African Spirituality Hub on Telegram. African Spirituality Hub on Telegram. You can follow me on all my social media also. And we also want to say that our next outreach is coming up on October. The right date will be getting across to us. Before then, we appreciate your donation. You can go to africanspiritualityhub.com, africanspiritualityhub.com on internet to register as a member of our community, and you'll see the donation modules there. The donation is not coming to me or anyone. It's going to feeding children in less privileged neighborhood, and also creating IT shed for them where they can learn machine language, robot language. A few weeks ago, they resumed back to school in this part of the world. We did a back to school drive for them to be able to be happy and feel themselves while learning. We hope to do more of that in the future. We are also raising up wellness center in all of these shanty neighborhoods where people can approach our wellness center for either health counsel or counseling about their health, about their family, and they will be able to also be giving free medication. Herbal medication and also Western medication will be used, but it's going to be 70% African medicine and 30% Western medicine where it is necessary. So the foundation called Al-Kebulan Humanitarian Foundation, duly registered in Nigeria under Corporate Affairs Commission, also duly registered in United Kingdom with our representative there. He's the one in charge of that. I do not believe in spirituality that does not translate to improvement of physical life of mankind. I do not practice African spirituality because I want to be a spiritual leader. No, I do this, I embrace it because it helps me to embrace humanity also. So if your spirituality is not translating to your humanity, it is nothing but a charade. It is nothing. So those money we collect on that website using your card or whatever to pay is what we use to disburse those projects to people every time. We help these children in and out, and we hope in the future also we also be able to. We've also started awarding scholarship to a lot of them. We've awarded scholarship to a lot of them, and we'll be doing more of that. We'll be training more children to embrace this way of life, and according to our financial capacity, we hope to also have our own free school where this African spirituality will be added as a curriculum for children to learn from beginning, so it will not be alien to them when they are growing up. There are a lot of projects we hope to do. We still retain the Crystal Love Support Foundation as a sister arm of Al-Kebulan Humanitarian Foundation. That one is basically used to raise funds for children who are suffering from medical emergencies, children who need medical intervention, urgent medical intervention. That's what Crystal Love Support Foundation is about. And on Crystal Love Support Foundation, we are also putting up a very huge structure which will be housing not less than 20 children as an orphanage home. We'll be bringing these children home to train them as ours in this way of the universe, and also taking care of all their billings, all their clothing and all that. We want you to be part of us in doing all this good. Jesus cannot save, Allah cannot save, bowing down to trees cannot save. Helping one another is a show of spirituality. Thank you very much, and do have an awesome time now, and see you next Thursday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. Yede loju owo ri o, koju yin ori re. Ayé á dára fún yín, ilẹ̀ á dẹ̀ fún yín. Ẹ ò ní ṣìṣe, ẹ ò ní kábàámọ̀. Ire o, àṣẹ, kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀.